All right, let's see here. The Switches. What? You're what?
I was gonna say we can talk about the Switch's second year anniversary.
I know that's what I'm saying.
That's a big deal.
I'm saying it now.
Well, so go ahead and say it, Dan.
You said it though. The Switch second anniversary. It's huge.
Yeah, it is. With every new direct, we keep getting better and better lists of games. It doesn't show any. It's not showing any signs of slowing down.
I mean, everybody knew that 2017 with Breath of the Wild and Odyssey. Okay, 2 games from Nintendo and just blow it up, and it's going to be massive. And they both get nominated for Game of the Year, and they're just
one of them
amazing.
Wins.
Yeah, honestly, it's as close of a tie as it could have been. They had to name a winner, so they picked one. But geez, either one of them could have done it. And then you think, what could possibly follow that up? And then we end up having another great year where there's like 3 times the games released on physical media, right?
I know what you're talking about. There's no games on Switch.
None. Not a single game on the Switch. In fact, all of the boxes on my shelf are just empty boxes. I mean, that's true. They are just empty boxes, but...
You just printed out like nice little cases for everything.
Yeah. I just troll for the artwork and print them out on a color inkjet and stick them in empty cases and put them up there and act like I have a Switch collection. Because honestly, there's no games on the Switch.
Not a single one.
No.
I keep hearing people talk about. There's still people who say that there's no good games coming to Switch. People saying that there's no good Nintendo exclusives, and then like the Direct happens, and if you take every game that's discussed at the Direct and you like lay them out on a spreadsheet, like it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and then people still will find ways to tear that apart.
Yeah,
I don't know how. I know we have a whole separate section where we're going to recap the entirety of Switch Year 2. We're going to have a wonderful guest on with us, JP from JP Switch Mania, and we're going to go through all of that in a minute. But I'm still blown away. It's been a hell of a ride for Year 2, and like I said, there's like 3 times the amount of physical releases this year than there was the previous year. It's hard to wrap my head around that. I did not expect the pace to pick up the way that it picked up, with that many games.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where you came close to saying you might have to change your collection style because your wallet was just getting emptied so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the holiday season was bustling. We expected that. I think everybody expected that. It's the holidays. Everybody gears up. They want to get all their titles out on the shelf before it's Christmas time. Before it's actually time to put little Johnny and Susie's presents out underneath the tree. But
there was one week in the fall that had like 7 or 9 titles released in a week.
I know. And that was probably just the domestic titles.
Yeah,
counting the imports.
My collection, I had to slow back in Year 2. I have an entire Year 1 complete collection, 100% ESRB complete collection for Year 1, including the limited releases like Retro City. So I have all that, but then when Year 2 started, it was crazy.
Yeah,
I couldn't keep up.
Insane. I'm like skimming through Year 2. It's still kind of wild to see how many releases, and it's fairly well balanced. I mean, there are titles of every kind. We had a lot of different things happening throughout the year, and they're coming from a lot of different regions. We even saw some interesting region codes. I know that the imports aren't like your thing, but we had a cartridge for Sikio Collection Volume 2, which had a cart code with CHT on it, which was new. So that was
I do remember that getting talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a KOR cartridge for Sikio Collection Volume 1. So that was the first, the Korean cartridge. Coming out of Play Asia, they had RXN, Raijin, and Shikondo had ASI on the cartridge, which was kind of neat. I think there was even an EUR 1 where it had a 1 at the end of the EUR, which was different. So some neat little things with the physical stuff. Here's another interesting stat so far. So, I keep all these statistics for each of the different years. The average cost. Now this is me. This is my average cost after shipping, tax, discounts, all the different things are calculated into this. Year 1, the average cost was $41.20 per game. Year 2 actually dropped to $37.31 per game. So that's a $5 average drop. I don't know what to make of that, but kind of an interesting thing.
It just means that the range of prices was larger over a larger scale. So that more games with a larger range of prices.
It's just kind of neat though to see, because, when I look at mine, I'm still doing a lot of imports. Had I cut those imports out, I bet you that price drops even further.
Yeah, I'm looking at currently 36 games that I don't own ESRB that are out right now in year 2. They're all year 2 games. There's 36 that I don't own. The oldest being Wolfenstein 2, which came out June 29th.
Side note on that, and I know we don't talk about it much here, but did you see where the folks that have hacked into their Switch have figured out how to adjust the clock speed, and Wolfenstein 2, as well as a few other games of a similar nature, do run better? They actually have better drawn shadows, less pixelation, etc.
I had not seen that, but I wonder how that helps Ark, because Ark is damn near unplayable.
It still baffles me that that's even on the Switch at all. It doesn't seem like a game that should be, which is weird because I think most games should be, but that does not fit. That should not be on the Switch.
No.
It's crazy. Again, wild, absolutely nuts year 2. We're going to get way deeper into that in just a little bit with JP. But, I don't want to bury the lead here. OTS Anniversary. It's been a year to the day.
You have put up with me for a year, or I've put up with you, however anybody wants to look at it.
So that's what I was going to say. It might be the other way around. I don't know. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. You said it before we went to go record.
Yep. No. Yeah, it's been interesting, and we have so many more plans for the future. It's crazy to think that we started off doing what we're doing, and we've we found a niche when we started doing the hitting shelves videos. Those picked up some good traction.
Easily our most popular overall.
Yeah. And now we're dipping into more features. It's just really interesting where we've come so far and what our plans are for the future. I think it's going to be, I think year 2 is going to be probably more fun than year 1. Year 1 was a lot of getting grounded and growing pains. We lucked out with a lot of our interviews, but for the most part, we were just kind of discovering how we were going to do what we were going to do. And now that we have that established, we just take it in another direction.
I really enjoyed doing the different segments that we tweaked towards, where we brought in the game of the month to actually pair up with the subreddit. As much as I'm not a fan of wanting to or needing to play Troll and I again, obviously we're going to cover that later in the show. But that kind of goes with, hey, whatever the game of the month is over there, that's what we're going to focus on. So what we're going to play, and you're going to get to hear our takes on it. And I think we got a lot of good feedback on the Monster Boy segment. I think people like that we're going to do that we're going to follow that. I think people enjoy some of the other segments, like This Month in Gaming History. I think, This month in Gaming History.
You still got to work on that.
That's right. I probably do. But essentially, I think that those things are going to kind of be a nice glue that holds the rest of the episode together when you look at it from the podcast side. Plus, they play really well as individual videos. I think people that don't want to listen to the long form have a nice container now that they can kind of just pop in, watch one of these little ones, pop out, be on their way, do whatever they want.
Yeah, and the to get back to the tying in the game of the month from the subreddit, because really that's what it's, the podcast is ours, but it's really an extension of the subreddit, because we have our own subreddit and we have our own Discord, but neither one of them are really used for anything public. But literally all of our interaction, and we always point all of our listeners to the NS Collectors subreddit and the NS Collectors Discord, because that is where this all started, and this is a lead back into that.
Speaking of which, later on in this episode, we will be speaking with CM5871, the founder, the person who actually clicked create subreddit and typed in NS Collectors. He will be featured in this month's Collectors Profile, which will be a great little conversation. I can't wait to share that with everybody.
He created the subreddit, the Discord, and he runs the NS Collectors Twitter page.
Most of the time, almost every time, not every time, but darn close to every time, we have somebody on the show that we're able to bring in that has yet to see the Discord. They jump in and they interact with everybody. So if you are listening to this and you have yet to go on to the NS Collectors, the Nintendo Switch Collectors Discord, you really should check it out and hang out there, because not only are there some amazing like regulars that hang out and chat about Switch, right? A bunch of fans that love the same thing. We have a ton of special guests in there. Lots of people that just constantly are hanging out. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. We've got East Asia Soft. We've got Play Asia. We've got Special Reserve, Limited Run, Aloft Studios, the guys behind Toe Jam and Earl. We've got Project Sense in there. We've got Merge/Signature Games. We've got Tribute Games. All those guys are actually connected live right now, and there's still more on top of that pop in from time to time. I know that George, who's going to be on the episode in a little bit, was in there earlier tonight. It's a great place to be, and sometimes, just sometimes, we get a early look or a first look at new stuff before everybody else.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, and another thing that we can tally on to our accomplishments in the first year is we were featured twice in Switch Player, and you were featured a third time.
Yeah, that physical copy for the third one hasn't quite come out yet. I think they literally just released the PDF less than a week, or about a week before we're recording this. It's super exciting, though, that we had a chance to bring OTS to a physical print magazine on a platform that we both love.
Yeah, we were featured once for OTS. We were featured again for Switch Core, and then you got your third feature after that. 3 consecutive issues too.
I know, it's insane. It's insane. That's another thing, though, is Switch Core. You know, we were both founding members of Switch Core. There were 20 founding members. Most of those are now in the Discord as well. So it's just another place for us to all kind of, share the information. I'll tell you, in a lot of ways, it's almost as if we have this great group that's the inside track.
We talk a lot through memes and pictures too, which is a lot of fun. So,
oh yeah.
But and then I did that little blurb video today for Terra Victoria, and as a little joke for her.
It's so goofy.
Liar princess. Yeah,
it was
a little goofy. It was a little goofy video, but it was fun. It was a fun little goofy video.
I'm just gonna say, if you do more of that, that's gonna stay on your channel.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, that's one. I uploaded it to my channel. I got to the upload and I was like, is this gonna be quality high enough to go on the OTS channel? No,
I don't think so.
I better put this on my channel.
Speaking of stuff, though, that's going to happen on the channel, I mean, you know as well as I do that this is turning into a Twitch gig pretty soon for us.
Oh yeah, no. If not before, then by the middle of June, I would say.
Yeah.
We will
Yeah.
be. Yeah, if we don't dip a little bit into it before, which we might, because as a little hint, I still have my Wii U plugged into my Elgato. So
Well, that's cool. I don't have mine anymore.
well, I
Oh,
can
well.
I can still crank out some content there if I
Well,
need to.
then
But
what
yes.
I'm gonna do is we're gonna put you on stream. We're gonna do this together, and then I'm gonna make you play my levels. You're gonna have to play the levels I made.
I can
That's
do
how
that.
we should be doing this. We're
can
gonna
do
go
that.
through every
I'm
single level.
I'm hopeful that since neither one of us are Kaizo players, that your levels won't be horribly difficult for me. But
I think maybe there's like one that has a single shell jump because I was like screwing around
Practicing?
with it. But yeah, but other than that, like I'm not a big fan of, like, I should say I'm not a big fan of certain elements within Kaizo. Some of it I think is cool and I actually do use certain elements from Kaizo, but I don't like build Kaizo levels generally. However, I do have one that on the surface looks a hell of a lot like it's a Kaizo level, and I can teach you how to play it. It's great. I've had nothing but fantastic feedback from people that have played the level, but I have to guide them through. I was like, no, just try this. And then they're like, oh, that totally works. So yeah, we're going to be doing that for sure. So you need to dust off that Wii U. I'm going to have to get our shit together. That's right. I said it on OBS. We're going to have to get some templates made. And then just look in the future, people, the OTS Twitch stream is coming. Super Mario Maker 2 is going to be a whole new world again for us. And you're going to be doing some of this stuff live.
no, I'm looking forward to that, and I feel like there's probably some collaboration potential when we get down to, because I know of a lot of content creators that are really focusing on Switch that are super excited about Mario Maker 2.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a whole community for that.
We may have a lot more collaboration coming down the line. People coming up, people that we already know, that we have spoken to in the past, because we used to both be pretty big, not majorly big. We both knew a lot of people in the Mario Maker community. So
What a way to like wrap up this second year, right? To have that as an announcement. Not to mention all the other things we talked about in the special direct coverage with JP.
I couldn't think of a better way to end the second year of Switch and the first year of OTS than by having such a great direct. And we'll get to that at a later time. But I think it's time that we can go over the recap of the Switch's second year itself with a special guest, JP.